The Wandering Minstrel is a 2-mana Simic 1/3 with a whole range of powerful abilities. His most noteworthy comes right at the start. Lands we control enter untapped. At first glance, this might seem unassuming, a way to make terrible lands playable. But it's actually one of the strongest lines of text that's ever been printed on a commander. While we are going to use it to play terrible lands and make them good, the real strength of this kind of effect stems from using it with ramp spells. One of the main limiting and balancing factors on most ramp spells is that they make lands enter tapped. This way, we only get to spend the mana we create next turn, forcing us to essentially take turns off to then accumulate an advantage later. Rampant Growth takes 2 turns before it starts going mana positive, and most of the game-winning ramp spells have a bit of inbuilt delay, like Open the Way needing a turn and a half. Cards like Arcane Signet and Free Visits are exceptionally powerful ramp because they immediately refund a portion of their casting cost, and going mana positive is so strong that it's reserved for either the ban list or CEDH. Soul Ring is the strongest card in the format, and all it is a cheap ramp spell that's immediately mana positive. The Wandering Minstrel accelerates the speed of all of our ramp by a turn, and that of course gives us even more resources to keep ramping. Another big advantage we get out of untapping all of our lands is that we can be incredibly greedy in the selection of lands that we play. I'm talking specifically about bounce lands, cards like Azorius Chancery and Simic Growth Chamber. Lands that tap for 2 mana but enter tapped and require us to return a land we control to our hand. I usually already like these, as they offer card advantage and help manage our threat level, but they become exceptionally powerful here because we can immediately tap them for mana, even before their own bounce trigger resolves. This is especially interesting when we consider that bounce lands can bounce themselves. By playing cards that give us additional land drops, we can use them as rituals, generating mana just by playing them and bouncing them back into our hand. Combine that with non-basic ramp spells, and we can take some truly outrageous turns with basically limitless mana available. These are the same tricks as the ones that are used in the Amulet Titan Modern deck, which has a rich competitive history. So, a big portion of our deck is built around ramping. Specifically non-basic ramp, so that we can find our bounce lands and towns, which we'll talk about in a bit. Omen Path Journey, Open the Way, Hour of Promise and Clifftop Lookout, amongst others. On top of that, we play a whole bunch of explore effects and additional land drops like Escape to the Wild, Eureka Moment, Hugs, Grizzly Guardian, Loot, Exuberant Explorer and Case of the Locked Hothouse. The best of them serve double duty, acting not just as ramp, but also as card advantage. These don't have to be particularly mana efficient because we're ramping a lot, meaning we have mana to spare. It's more important that we turn this ramp into actual cards to play so we can keep going. Because of that, we also play a huge amount of card advantage in all shapes and sizes. The Simic gang is obviously there, but also Six, Oro, and some of the white weenie draw engines and a few X costs. I think card advantage is so important in this deck that I even structured a lot of its removal around it, with cards like Consuming Tide, Death Begets Life, Decree of Pain, and Dream Fracture, in addition to a few staples. Rounding out the deck are a couple of landfall cards to apply pressure with, and some land reanimation paired with the tricolor lands that sacrifice themselves for a burst of mana. So, we've got an entire deck here. But the Wandering Minstrel still has 2 more abilities. If, at the start of combat, we control 5 or more towns, we create a 2/2 elemental creature token that's all colors. This token isn't a huge deal, but it's appreciated. It's mostly just a small attacker. To get some additional use out of it, we play the aforementioned Weenie synergies, and also Risen Reef and Omnath for some elemental synergy. But there's another reason to play towns, aside from our little elemental friend. For 8 mana, including Wooburg, the Wandering Minstrel gives other creatures we control +X until end of turn, where X is the number of towns we control. I didn't include any finishers in the rest of this deck list, and that's because this instant speed repeatable overrun is all we need. We simply ramp, 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 stick literally any creatures on the board, and then threaten a kill with every attack. That is, so long as we have enough towns in play. But they are 23 printed in Final Fantasy, and we play all of them, so that shouldn't be too difficult. The Wandering Minstrel is an incredibly powerful commander, and I'd like to now show you this deck in action. But before that, some of you might have noticed that this is not a particularly budget-friendly deck, which is unusual for me, but there's a reason for that. Final Fantasy prices are still fluctuating, and this deck uses a lot of cards from that set, mostly all of the towns. That left me with two choices. I could have tried to guess the prices for the set and build the deck around that estimation, or I just mostly ignore the budget for this one and push the limits, so long as we are still being reasonable. I went with the second option. Still, I didn't include anything that's excessively expensive. The most individually expensive card, aside from Final Fantasy, is Easy, and the entire deck is around €120. Funnily enough, that's the price point where most of my IRL decks eventually end up at. Okay then, now it's time for some gameplay. If you enjoyed the video so far, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and check out my Patreon. Over there you can find lots of bonus content as well as today's deck list, and you can support me directly, which would be great. I would really appreciate that, as it would help alleviate a lot of my stress. Thanks! And now, let's get into it. Alright, we're going first, let's go! That's gaming. One land! That one's going back. I don't think we can start with a single bounce land. Come on! 2 lands! I play so many lands. 40 is not enough, I'm telling you. Alright, let's try again. Oh, that is still not great. But I think we're gonna have to keep it. Alright friends, we might be playing with a little bit of a disadvantage here. You know what? It's actually gaming. Because now I don't have to discard a card when I play my Gruul Turf on turn 2. What are we playing against? Amara, Soul of the Accord. Kodis, the Fang Keeper. And Shigeki, Jukai Visionary. Alright, Azusa, Lost But Seeking. I mean, that's a very good card. We're just gonna need some lands to really make use of it. Alright, return our capital city. If I can find a bounce land, we can do some nasty stuff. Okay, one time. Oh, we got a bounce land. Okay, all right. Let's play the capital city. And then we tap, we tap this, and then we tap this for blue. We pay with a red here. And then we play the Wandering Minstrel. And then the next turn, we're gonna do some stuff. Some stuff, I tell you. Reclamation Sage. I am a huge Rec Sage enjoyer. I love this card. I love it because it's just a silly little guy that comes in, kills something, and then just stands there being annoying. So let's have a look at what we get. Sacred Rendezvous. Yeah, that's fine for now. So, 3 mana, Azusa, Golgari Rod Farm. Have it enter untapped, yes. Tap it for mana, and then return this to our hand. Golgari Rod Farm. Have it enter untapped. And then we tap it for mana, and we return this to our hand. Oracle of Moldaya. just like that. We just get there every time. So we got an additional land drop now. Let's play another Golgari Rod Farm. Why not? Tap that for mana, and then bring it back into our hand. Very good. Let's play Windurst, Federation Center. Yes, please. Tap this for mana, play a Dryad. Guys, do you think we've used enough land drops yet? I feel like maybe a couple more land drops would be a good idea. Although, to be honest, I think I want to keep this in hand. So, that's the turn. I know. We didn't actually get a lot of lands in play. But we did play 10 mana worth of creatures. So I feel like that's not too bad. Kodis, the Fang Keeper. Just gonna get hasted in and hit somebody, I assume? Oh, no. Guess not. So time for Shigeki yet? Yeah. So we have some options here. I think we just go for big Hydroid Crazes. The question is just how big. We have 5 land drops. I would like to tap this. Thank you very much. Return this to our hand. Let's do this again. How far should we go? I mean, at some point, we do actually need to put lands into play. Let's maybe just go like that. Let's make the Hydroid Crisis this big. Also, yeah, I'm playing Hydroid Crisis because I think it's just a cool card that I don't get to play that much. So I thought it would be fine here. So I think I play Trenno Dark City, and then I play the Golgari Rod Farm. Have this enter untapped. We will tap this again. Return it back to our hand. I am never actually playing this thing. This Golgari Rod Farm is staying in my hand. Well, I mean, I think that's fine. We've got an 8-8. And we did get some lands in play. I mean, an 8-8 flying trample. That's pretty good. We can flample over there. Although one thing about Hydroid Crisis. What's going on in there? Like, I guess it's the jellyfish. Is the little brain thing in the back like that? Is that the jellyfish part? Because I'm pretty sure jellyfish don't have brains. Conclave Tribunal. No, Crisis. No. That was my boy. I worked so hard for that one. That Golgari Rod Farm is so dizzy right now. And you just stick it into jail? I'm so mad. That's just rude. Oh, who's it coming at? I would actually throw the Dryad in front of that. Damn it! Okay. Well, it's not coming for me, so I can't do anything about it. Okay, then. So I will play this. I have this enter untapped. Yes, please. But I will actually bounce something else now. Because I want to actually build mana on the board at this stage. It's just important that we keep one of these lands in hand. Okay, Coiling Oracle, draw a card. Clifftop Lookout, that's not it. That's not what we're looking for. All right, what are we looking for? Well, let's do white mana, Secret Rendezvous. Probably this guy. I feel like this guy has the best shot at actually having something to deal with Codis. So we'll just go on a little rendezvous. We've got 4 land drops remaining. Let's play the Clifftop Lookout first. We can snatch ourselves an additional land from that. That is Sulfur Vent. Yeah, I will have it into untap. How many towns do we have? 3 towns. Oh no. One of them left. That's okay. This happens so much in MTGO that people leave. If I only uploaded games where everybody's stuck around, I would never upload. It's unfortunate, but it is how it is. Okay, well, we've got some interaction, right? Like we can Stroke of Midnight, we can Dream Fracture, we can Beast with it. We also make ourselves a little 2/2 buddy, a little elemental token. And next turn we can Open the Way, possibly. Hour of Reckoning. That is so completely useless. Like, what does that even do? It just literally doesn't kill Codis. It just kills my shit. Yeah, well, no. No, I don't think I will let you do that. How annoying. That is such a useless play. That is just so pointless. Why would you do that? I mean, there's nothing on my board that's even worth killing. Ugh, that's not true. I've got these 4. These 4 are worth killing. This guy draws me 3 cards. Okay, I lied. There's a lot on my board that's worth killing. That doesn't do anything as Codis. That guy is indestructible. Okay, Death Touch Trample is annoying. I will not block. Fuck me up, I guess. Luckily, I have most of my removal already in hand, so it's not like much is gonna come from it. What did we get? How many towns? 3 towns? How dare you? There's people that live in those towns. Where are they now? It's just fucking in the nether. Yeet it off the planet. Maybe we can visit them in Edge of Eternities. Soul Ring? That's kind of cringe. So I'm thinking we'll kill them. How are we all feeling about the killing them plan? How many towns do I have? 8 or something? We'll get some more. Let's do the Golgari Rod Farm thing for a moment. Return this to our hand. Play this again. Turn it to our hand again. One more time. And then we open the way for 3. Get some towns. What did we get? Yes, that's a town. It's a Boiler Works. That's a town. Let's go. I want to make sure I keep the towns in place, so I'm bouncing back the Boiler Works. And I've got 2 land drops remaining. Can play this guy. Turn this again. Play this guy one more time. Activate this bad boy. Pay 1, pay 2, pay 3, pay a white. Okay, our creatures are big. Combat. I make a little guy. I like having a little guy. Attack with all creatures at this nerd, except for the Wandering Minstrel. This guy doesn't get buff. Let's bring the heat. I mean, presumably I could actually have killed both of them right here, but you know, we gotta demonstrate our might. It's really about sending a message. That message being that this commander was a mistake. I mean, is that not already lethal? Like, they just literally cannot block enough. But I will, again, is less about necessarily being the correct play and much more about just demonstrating how much we can even do. And you know what I can do? I can just activate this guy again at instant speed. What were they thinking? I became Doug Walker there for a moment. Buff them all once more. Death. Your turn, buddy. Yeah, that's gaming. I like it. Not Beast Within. Stroke of Midnight, this guy. Oh, you can Mentor of the Meek, the one. Maybe I should have used Beast Within. Maybe that was a misplay. And you can have it. You can deal the damage. I will not block. Why would I? Let's just not make this more difficult than it needs to be. Attack with all creatures. You may block. You may die. One moment. I do need to pay mana. I know that was very dramatic, but like I gotta pay mana really quick. One moment. Give me 1 second. There we go. This sure is a magic card. And one hell of a filthy one. The Wandering Minstrel is just outrageous. I played multiple games with the guy, and honestly, they really didn't go much different from this. I would actually say that what I did in this game was maybe a bit on the lower end, because I didn't really find that many lands. So I just spent a lot of time bouncing the one bounce land, right? But again, you can just do that to create mana, because we've got a Spelunking in the command zone, and that's kind of crazy. So yeah, anyways, that was the Wandering Minstrel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to go to thumbs up. Would definitely appreciate that. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. There's a link down in the description. You might have noticed that I have now gated the deck lists for these videos behind the Patreon. Sorry, I'm just trying to make some strong incentives to go over there. Let me be completely honest with you. We gotta make money somehow. So, you know, you get it, right? We are here to get that bread and to have some fun while doing so. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.